Rock Stars, day 4, how to solo step by step. We've been learning this process all week and we're gonna keep going. We got 2 more days of this. It's Thursday and I've been reading the chats right here. I've been reading in the chat here right before we went live, and I just wanna say that I feel like I'm in really good company. And so thank you so much for you guys being so positive. I really feel like we've kind of weeded out the naysayers, which is good. I think that's good. That's bad energy. We've weeded out the naysayers and the people that don't believe that they cannot. There's no need for them to be here anyhow. They might as well be doing something else that they maybe believe in or just watch a TV or whatever. So I'm really excited that we have the energy that we have here today. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate that. We're gonna have a blast today. We're gonna learn a ton. I got a message from Al, who you see in the chat a lot of times, and he said, Eric, would you do more on this idea of playing a chord and then playing a phrase? And I think that that is a great I think that's a great idea. So I'm going to be doing that more today. We'll still be doing some other jamming. Now, he asked me to also do more complex things, but also said that he was a little bit lost. So I'm not too sure how I would navigate that, because if we start getting more complicated, then you're going to get more lost as well. And to be honest with you, friends, you can make this as complex as you want. You don't need me. If you want things to be more complex, then you're probably a more advanced player, and then you probably aren't needing my direction to guide you in a lick anyhow. So when we're jamming here and it's your moment to say whatever it is that you want to say, go for it. Just create something amazing. Otherwise, it's still best to stick with what I'm showing you here, because you cannot get enough of the foundations. You cannot get enough of the foundations. It's not like you're going to start... I don't know. I can't say enough about the foundational stuff. You've got to get that down. So it really is all about phrasing and learning how to phrase. Folks say, Eric, I know my scale and I know how to find the key to a song, and I know how that how the scale and the chords work, but yet they still just don't sound great together. And so that is because they're not phrasing. And some of this sounds like repeat. It's for those folks who haven't been here before. So we have to learn how to phrase. And just like a child learns how to phrase, they don't have a dictionary. They don't have an encyclopedia. And they don't, that's not how we learn anyhow. We learn through association. So mama drops something on her foot. She says, oh, shoes. Then the kid's gonna repeat that back, right? I told you my story about my little guy the other day as I was giving antibiotics to my cat, and the cat scratched me, as she always does, and I said, ah, a-hole, because my kid was there and I couldn't say what I actually felt at the time. I love my cat, but it scratched me pretty good. And then this little kid comes running in the room, a-hole, a-hole, I want to see the a-hole. And I was like, oh God. So this is how we learn to speak, right? We learn to speak by mimicking. Take your greatest guitar players, copy what it is that they do, and friends, you will be learning from the masters, okay? This is why it's good to transcribe solos. Whether they're written out or not, doesn't matter. As long as you're playing them, it's going to become part of you. And if you're learning licks from Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page and Robert Johnson and maybe some no-name guitar player who's amazing, doesn't matter who it is, you're going to be learning their vocabulary, and the vocabulary that you're learning from them, it will be passed down through the lineage. Okay? And all the licks I'm showing you here today are steeped in that lineage, okay? No one's inventing anything here. It's just, you know, for the same reason that the phrases that I'm saying out of my mouth aren't necessarily new either. It's just the way that we're assembling them that might make something make more sense. Make sense? Yeah? Okay? All right, so here we go. So we're going to dig into this here, and we're going to start off with just hitting the chord and then playing a riff. Before we do that, friends, you know what to do. Please hit the thumb up on this video if you have not already. Of course, if you have already, then it'll make it just go away, so don't do that. Just hit it one time. And then also, if you'd like to do something else, then go ahead and share this out to the interwebs with the kids. If you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to know more, definitely hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that notification bell, because even that, they have a, for some reason, YouTube and Google, they have a hard time still letting folks know about my videos. So it happens. Okay. Okay. So now this idea of, so, you know, we know that if we're in a particular key, okay, we can think about a particular key as being a subject, a musical subject. So if we're at a dinner party and people are talking about quantum physics, as they always do, at my dinner parties they do, and so they're talking about quantum physics, and I'm going over and I'm like, man, yeah, I love sharks. Sharks are amazing. They're going to be like, dude, we're talking about quantum physics here. So you can think about the tonal center as being the musical subject of whatever it is that we are doing and playing, okay? So we have to know what the tonal center is. There is no guitar player on earth who plays by ear, listen, who plays by ear and doesn't know the tonal center of a tune. Doesn't happen. It's never happened, never will. Challenge me. I don't care. Not only that, people that say they play by ear, here's a dirty secret. You ready? You ready? They don't play by ear. You know why? Yes, they play by ear in that they're making stuff up as you're going. I mean, I could say I'm just playing by ear, but I've got patterns. It matters what fret I'm on. It matters what string I'm on. Yeah, Eric, but I don't believe you because so-and-so said he plays by ear. I don't care what anybody said. If the news media and everything that's on that you're hearing right now is not proof that it doesn't matter what people say. You got to get that out of your mindset. It's not about what people say. What's the proof in the pudding, okay? And I'll say it. If someone's learning the guitar and they say, oh man, I don't use theory, I play everything by ear. Oh, do you really, champ? Why don't you give me your guitar and let me tune it to whatever I want? Because if you're saying that you play by ear and that you don't know any patterns and no theory whatsoever on the fretboard, then it shouldn't matter what tuning your guitar is because you're making it up as you're going along, okay? We'll make sure it's in tune, but we're gonna tune strings differently. Well, no, you can't do that because I got my patterns. Oh, you mean theory, right? No, I mean patterns. Well, you call it whatever you want, but the patterns are theory. Make sense? There is no way to sound intelligent and not be in symmetry, not be having patterns. True with a conversation, true with music. So let's dispel any sort of myths there, okay? We gotta know this stuff. So we know the tonal center. We know that once we know a tonal center, if we're talking about sharks, we're gonna be talking about lemon sharks and bull sharks and teeth and whatever. Those are our notes, if you will, in the key of shark. If we are talking about quantum physics, we're going to talk about the limitations of Newtonian science. We're going to talk about possibilities, all the possibilities. We're going to talk about the field, the energy field, and those sorts of things. Those would be the notes in the key of quantum physics. When we're talking about music, we're talking about a tonal center. There always has to be a tonal center. Once we know the tonal center, then we know the chords and we know the notes that might be presented. And when I say might, I mean 99% of the time the notes and the chords that will be presented. Doesn't mean we can't go out of that, but again, there are no rules in art. There's just suggestions and there's patterns and there's symmetry. So if you want to go and take a bunch of paint and splash it on to a canvas, you can do that, and people call that art, and people buy big money for it. But if it's done by the right person, but symmetry, whatever, you know, you be the judge there. We can do the same thing with music. We can really get out on a limb, but what we're trying to do here is sound very intelligent and sound very concise, some patterns and that sort of thing. Later on, if you want to delve out of this and get really heady and get to be an adventurous musician, then definitely do that. But there is no adventurous musician who didn't first learn the basics, okay? Bach said, learn the rules, then forget them. Meaning, learn the rules, okay? You can't just not do the rules. You got to learn them and then forget them. You don't get to not learn them unless you just want to sound like crap. If that's your goal, don't learn the rules, okay? So now we're in a key. We're going to be in a tonal center. And yesterday we did a little bit about, we talked about, okay, we hit a chord, and then we play a little bit in regards to the E minor pentatonic scale. And we said this was valuable because what it does is, number one, it keeps us committed to a beat. We can be our own backup band. We can hit a chord. We have a chord plan, and then we can do a little noodling over the top of it. And that's really beneficial because it's going to do a couple of things. Number one, it's going to keep us committed to a beat, and also it helps limit us to a small amount of time that we have to speak. Just like when you're having a conversation with somebody and they're dominating the conversation, and people are like, yeah, you're doing that right now, Eric. It's because it's a monologue. Okay, I get it. I talk a lot. But I don't when we're having a dialogue. I don't do that. When you're in a dialogue and someone's just absolutely dominating the conversation, you have a lot more time to think. I want you to think about that as you're playing your chord. Now you have time to say your thing. So you say something very intelligent. Say something, even if it's small. Just say, I love you. It's pretty simple. The most powerful words in the world, right? Yes, Eric. Okay, here we go, right? Here we go. Thank you so much, Marine Mama 62, for sharing on Facebook. Beautiful. Yay. Okay, here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this E chord again, and this was by request from Al, who you'll see in the chat here at some point, I'm sure. And he said, please go back to these just playing the one chord and then soloing over the top of it. So here's the scale that we're going to be using. It's E minor blues. E minor pentatonic or E minor blues, you can use either, but I'm going to be using E minor blues, and it goes like this. You ready? 0, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, sorry. Let's go back. 0, 3. 0, 1, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 3, 0, 4, 0, 4. Okay? We're going to do very simple lines here. And the idea is to just do something like this. That note's in there. I know. Sounds a little weird, but it is. It's in that E major chord. So, see, what we're doing here, this is going to be your homework, okay? I want you to take either an E chord or an A chord. Reason being is those are nice and low, and you can easily play the scale. In the case of the E, you got it right here. In the case of A, you could do it right up here. Actually, you could do it with a G. You know what I'm saying? So you could take a G, you could take any chord, and if that's too fast for you, then give yourself more time. Just go. Makes sense? So the speed doesn't matter. The speed is your speed. Okay? I say this all the time. Accuracy is what you're going for. Phrasing is what you're going for. Does it matter if your lover says, I love you, I love you, I love you? Or does it matter if they say, I love you? Right? It's the meaning. It's the emotion behind it, not the speed. Right? Get speed out of your head. Let's try to be accurate. Let's go for something that's meaningful. So the chord doesn't matter. You do whatever chord you want. In this case here, you could do a G, could do an A, could do an E, could do an F, B, doesn't matter. Any one that's down here you could do, and then you're going to do the appropriate scale over the top of that. What is the appropriate scale? I would say either go with, if you're trying to do kind of a bluesy thing, you're going to use minor pentatonic is a really good one to use. Minor pentatonic or minor blues. Let's go with those, okay? Don't try to mess with the modes and the major scale and that sort of thing, because you really need to start with something more simple at first. It's kind of like people wanting to get on a motorcycle and they haven't even earned the right to ride a bicycle or even a tricycle, but yet they want to get on a motorcycle. And it's like, yeah, well, everybody wants to get on a motorcycle, but you haven't earned it yet, right? So just be cool and earn it. Okay? Because here's the deal. It's never going to be what you think it is anyhow, because if you haven't earned it, I say this all the time about people, they say, well, I really wish I had this opportunity, or really wish that I had an opportunity for an audition or whatever. Well, they're not practicing for auditions, so then they go to the audition and they fail miserably, and that was maybe their one shot, or their one of 2 or 3 shots, and they failed. When you really have to get in the habit of just doing, okay? Just going for it, even if you don't have the skills to do it. No one has the skills to do it at first. You develop the skills. Cool? All right? Enough preaching. Here we go. Now, all right. So let's get into it. Are you guys saying that am I out of time? Might sound. Hopefully not. Oh, dear Lord.
All right.
No, I'm in time. Okay, I saw someone saying that that we're out of timing here, but we're not. I'm not. I'm getting good here. All right, Eric, can you go over the 2-note slidey thing you just did? I think it's called the double stop. Yeah, we can talk about double stops, and then let's get straight in. I just want to take one question here before we start, and then let's get straight into the into a jam, shall we? Okay, so let's see, the double stop that I did, let's see. So I did a double stop here on, this is a real common double stop because, let's say we're in the key of G, if we have like 6, 3, 6, 3, well 3 and 3, we can play those notes together. And I like to kind of like pick the note, slide into the first note, and then hit the other one. Or, right? Right, like a little Chuck Berry-ish-esque type of thing there. So you can use double stops whenever you want. It's just using 2 notes at a time, okay? And you can use this for improvisation. Here we go. And if you, I just saw a donation right here. Asvaldo, thank you so much for the donation. So kind of you, my friend. All right, here we go. You ready? Why don't we do, see, we did A, and we did E, and we did B. Why don't we do a little G today, right? In the style of ZZ Top, right? Right? Okay. nice and slow, okay? We're not gonna do it quick like that because I really want to give you guys an opportunity to do this and not be overwhelmed with the speed. Because at the end of the day, whatever you're doing in a slow speed, eventually you will work up to it. But it's the getting it is the important thing, okay? So don't worry so much about the speed right now, okay? All we're gonna do, real simple. We're just gonna be playing in the key of the key of G, and we're using the G blues, G minor blues, which in the third position here, you're using fingers 1 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4. Okay. Junius, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Super kind. Now, you know something? I take that back. We're not gonna use that much. We're just using a little bit, right? Minimalistic. Let's do this. Let's play frets 6 and 8. 6 and 8, 6 and 8. Okay? On strings 1 and 2. We did this, we've done this a bunch the whole last week here, and it's been very helpful. So let's note something here really quickly, is that literally you've got the entire blues scale right here underneath your fingers. Watch this. This is the 1. We're in the key of G. That's the most important note. Okay, this is on the 2nd fret, or the 2nd string. 8th fret, 2nd string. It's the most important note because it's our subject. We're talking about quantum physics. That's the word, quantum physics, right? So even if you don't know what you're talking about and you're in the middle of a conversation, people talk about stuff, you could be like, huh, yeah, quantum physics, yeah. It'd be like doing that. So you don't want to do that. You can't do this. I suppose you could. It sounds cool, right? But after a while, people are going to be like, that's the only thing you know, right? You know the word quantum physics, but you don't know what we're talking about, do you? Yeah. So then we need a couple other notes here, right? So here, check this out. We've got the whole scale right here. Here's the 1. Here's the flat 7. That note right there is our 3. Now check this out. This is amazing. Seriously, it's very, very amazing. Because why? Because in this little section right here, this is true for blues all the way, by the way. It's a little secret that people don't talk about, but watch this. Here's our 1. Here's our 3. We said this was our flat 7. You don't have to remember these. I'm just trying to show you, if you know a little bit about theory, where all this stuff's going to come in. Frank, thank you so much for the kind donation, bud. Super sweet. So here's our 3rd, our minor 3rd, right? So now we bend that note a lot, right? Even if it's just a teeny tiny bit. What I mean by we bend it a lot, we don't bend it a lot, we bend it often, okay? And here's the deal. You're bending just either just a slight bit, or you could bend it up to the major note right there, okay? So like this. Doesn't that sound good? It sounds good either if you just do that. Or, so right there we have the minor 3rd, we have the major 3rd, which sounds really good, because we're playing major chords. So that'll sound great, right? And then we have the 4, which is right here. Okay, don't worry about the names right now. If I try to explain that, you're gonna get lost. Okay, just trust me, that's the name of it. It's the 4th. It's the perfect 4th. And then this note is our flat 5, which is our blue note, right? So if we do this, if we go like, right? It's our flat 5. You'll hear that very often in blues. And then we got the 5. Makes sense, right? So we have the 1, we got the flat 7, we have the minor 3rd, we got the major 3rd, we got the 4th, we got the flat 5, we got the 5. Like literally, all those notes we can play. So in this one little section here, we could technically, without straying from frets 6 or 8, 6 and 8, with some bends, some slight bends and some more severe bends, we can end up playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes. What? Yeah, 2 frets, we get 7 notes out of it. Now, obviously, we're on 2 strings, so that's a total of 4 notes, but with our bends, we can end up getting 7 notes out of this. And dude, I promise you, listen to me. Are you listening? No, I'm serious. So put the coffee down for a second. This is serious. I'm gonna get serious with you now. Right now, we're gonna get serious. What I want you to do is I want you to think that every single one of these notes, if you can master this in this one little position, you will master the whole neck. Did you hear me? I'm not joking. You will master the whole neck because it's all the same. The notes don't change. We've been over this. We've been doing this all week. If I play... Okay? What? Yeah, it's the same notes. They're all over. They're all over the neck. So, this is why I say don't get overwhelmed and just focus on this one little section, because if you can master this, everything else falls into place. Okay? We're only using frets 6 and 8. I know that was a long dissertation, but this is the stuff you need. If you don't know this stuff, then you're not going to get it. Okay? This is not for the lighthearted. The people that are lame, not lame, but the people that can't handle it, they bailed out already. Okay? Now it's just the winners, and we're going to do this together, shall we? All right. 6 and 8, 6 and 8. We might do some bends, though. Here we go. I'm going to play something. You're going to repeat it. It's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 6. Let's see if we're going to do this. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. 1, 2. Let's see. We're going to do 4 measures per this time, okay? So I'm going to grab it for 4 measures, and you're going to grab it for 4 measures. Is that right? Hold on. I don't think that's right. Let's do 2 measures. That's going to be too much. Let's do 2 measures, okay? Let's see here. Yeah. And then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Ready? Okay, here we go. You're gonna go. Now, real quick here, don't worry if you do not play exactly what I'm doing. In actual call and response, you don't repeat exactly what the guy does. But we're doing that so we can learn phrasing, just like a child would. And you say, no, it's potty. It's potty. Go to the potty. okay? We're just mimicking what it is that our parents say, okay? When I was a kid, there was a squirrel in the name in German. I forgot the name of what it is, like a Hoffenpfeffer or something like that. Hoffenpfeffer or something like that. Anyhow, or maybe that's a rabbit, right? And I saw this as a kid. My parents were German, and they said that's a Hoffenpfeffer, whatever. Well, I was at church, and I said, "Oh, mommy, it's a Hoffenpfeffer, a Hoffenpfeffer," and she goes, "Oh, no. It's a Hoffenpfeffer," or whatever it was. But I'm saying, "No, it's a Hoffenpfeffer, mama." And she goes, "No. So she said it over and over again. So I was not quite saying it right. I wasn't saying it exactly right. So she helped correct me, but I was saying it pretty close. So what I'm saying, so the moral of the story is, it's okay if you're close, okay? It's not the worst thing in the world. It'll be cute, okay? Maybe you'll make something up. Okay, so don't worry about that. Don't freak out that you're not getting it all right away. Cool? That's it. Yes, I've been munching, what is it? Is a squirrel air Dutch? I don't know. I just know I got it wrong, and it didn't sound anything like what my mom said. It sounded like what I said, Huffenfucker, or something like that. Here we go. Are you ready? Oops. All right, so again, as long as you're in these two places, 6/8, 6/8 on those two strings, you ain't going to mess up, especially if you come back to that. That's your golden note there. That's the G. It's golden. Remember it. It's your third finger. It's the second string. Keep coming back to it, okay? Hassenpfeife? I don't know. Yeah, you guys know what you're tracking. You're tracking with me. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Do the face if you need to. We're gonna vary it. Okay, something new. I bent this guy up. Slide, bend, hammer, it doesn't matter. It's worth saying again if it's cool. Okay. We're gonna bend this guy here a little bit. Go for it. Get out there. Hassenfucker. Just go out there. Just do it. Okay? Doesn't have to be perfect. Pasa, fucker. Do it. Starting off with the bend, so it's a pre-bend. Watch. So I start off with the bend, and then I come into it. Hear it like this. Just been barely bending this. Let's do it a major third. Here we go. Bend it up there, a whole half step. Half step bend right there. Good, yeah, all right, Marie's got it, okay. So I bend that and I chop the strings, I choke it at the top, watch. So at the top of the bend, you just mute them. And yeah, if you have an acoustic, I'm sorry, slide instead of bend. Right? That's all you do. Marco, thank you for the donation. If you're on an acoustic, slide instead of the bend. Ha! Ah, good. 30-day challenge was great, but these back and forth lessons have been far awesome. Good. Let's throw the flat 5 in there when we bend this up a half step. Bent that one and this one. Watch this. Pre-bend and then a bend up on the second one. Watch. We'll do this one a bit. Vivian, can you buy this lesson? No, it's free. You cannot buy it. No, it's free. I love that one, right? That's kind of fun. We're messing with some notes here just by bending. Flat 5, that's what we're bending from. Greg, refresh your browser. Everybody's in sync. It's you, bud. Sorry about that. We can even slide up to that last one. Gotta lift your hand up like that. Watch. shake right there. Put the stink on it. Put some stinky on it. Yeah. Let's go up a whole step here. So we're bending a whole step here. Now you're talking, Drew says. All right, nice, come on. Okay. All right, let me know. Are you getting this? Give me a big fat yes if you were like, I am soloing, I am phrasing, this is sounding good, now I know what to do with my scales, right? Please give me a thumbs up, give me a yes, let me know, hell yeah, whatever. Let me know that you are getting it, okay? Beautiful, yay, woo, ah, yeah, woohoo, I love that, ah, Whoa, it's so hot in here. I gotta turn the fan on, it's that hot. Woo, I love it, hang on. Burning up. All right, woo. You guys are so hot, burning the blues here. Hey, and it's okay if you don't get it. Don't feel the peer pressure to say, no, I don't get it, okay? Don't feel bad because we're doing this together. We all want to move together on this, okay? Yes, but more work needed. Me too, Stephen. Me too. I need more work. We all do. And that's the fun thing, man. It's a journey. This is a total journey, okay? Hopefully that's not going to mess with the sounds too much. If that does, and please don't, if it really bothers the sound, you let me know and I will turn it off. But if it doesn't, please don't say it you can hear it to be Mr. Smarty Pants. Everybody thinks you have a great ear. Don't do that because it's going to be hotter than Hades in here for me, okay? So if it does sound weird because I got the fan on, you let me know. Just write fan, bad fan, okay? Otherwise, I'm gonna let it go. Okay, you guys having fun? You're getting this, okay. All right, now here's the deal. Roland, it's okay. It just means there's a piece missing. Look, whenever you don't get something, I know this is, for some of you, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's logical, but most people, they don't get this. When you don't get something, you think that it's the whole thing you don't get, when usually it's one little piece of it. But if you got a car that's missing a spark plug, back in the day when they made cars with spark plugs, I don't think they do anymore, but should you have a car without a spark plug, I think it would still work. I don't know much about, somebody in the chat will know. But there's things that it won't have. Let's say you don't have oil in the tank, right? Something very simple like that. Or let's say you're missing an axle, right? Just one thing. Or the key. You know, you need components, and a lot of times it's just we're missing one thing, and we think, I'm just terrible at this, I'm terrible at this. No, you don't. It's just, it'll misfire. That's right. Yeah, thanks, Dwight. So, but nonetheless, it's not going to sound very good. You're going to be like, something's not right, you know? So you're playing, it's not that your fingers aren't moving and stuff, but you're misfiring. You're not like, this isn't right. It's typically because you're just missing one thing. You're not necessarily missing a ton of stuff, okay? Now, Eric, thank you for the donation, brother. So kind. So you said, yeah, but Eric, you know, you're just doing one place on the neck. Well, listen, friends. The pentatonic scale is the 5-note scale. So when we say there's 5 notes in it, that doesn't mean there's 48,000 notes in it. It means there's 5 notes in it, and they just keep repeating over and over and over and over and over and over on the neck. That's it. Since you're only in one key, it's only 5 notes. Penta, meaning the 5-note scale. Okay, it's not the penta scale, the 55-note scale. It's the penta scale, pentatonic. It's 5 notes. The diatonic scale has 7 notes in it. In this case here, we just did 7 notes out of the blues. Cool, and we only used one place in the neck. But as I say, if you can dominate this, it's the same thing. Now, it doesn't mean that that's the only way you're going to phrase, but oftentimes you will find that a lot of this stuff is very, very similar. Let's do some more here, okay? Now, the different positions that's interesting on the guitar, I say it all the time. People go, well, then why would you play in one area of the neck over another? Great question. Ron, thank you for the donation, brother. You guys are always coming through for me. Thank you so much. Helping keeping the lights on here. Thank you. People say, well, what about the different positions? Can you teach us the different positions? Yeah, I do that. I got all that stuff inside of UGS, okay? Which, by the way, third link below this video is UGS Standard. It's absolutely free for you guys. It is there for you so that you can build a solid foundation so that when you join me for these broadcasts, you're not lost. And when I say the flat third, you're not like, what the hell's that? You're like, oh, the flat third. Okay, I know what that is. Boom, okay? Or if I say, okay, we're moving to the A7 chord. You will know what an A7 chord is, or this is the major scale. It's based off the major scale. You're gonna know what that is because you have a solid foundation that's built through Unstoppable Guitar System Standard, and I'm literally giving that to you for free today. It's the third link below. I don't think there's anybody, just about 99% of the people who are watching right now have been through this. So I'm talking to the 1% that's out there. If you haven't done this, you really need to because it will help you immensely. In fact, if you've gone through those first 30 lessons, just put 30 exclamation point or yes or hell yes or fire or something like that. Let people know, yes, that absolutely changed my mindset and helped me to understand the guitar. If it didn't help you at all, no, don't. Or put 30 and a big thumb down and a big sad face or something. But if it did help you, put 30 in there so other people know, right? They overcame the beast by the words of their testimony. And we're using the words of your testimony. You overcome the beast of thinking that we can't do something. It's a lie. Don't lie to yourself, okay? Kent, thank you so much. I'm moving on to more advanced lessons. That's a compliment. Thanks, Eric. Woo! I love it. Yeah, thank you, Kent. Love, 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 love it. Brent Boardman, working on the four-cylinder, the number 4 cylinder, the pinky. Yeah, indeed. And guess what? Look at the hand. See that pinky? Number 1, this guy's the boss, right? When you grip something, he's the boss. He's like, hey guys, get to work. We're gonna grip something. And this guy is first in line. This guy, even though he's second in line, he's more in command because he's taller and he's, I don't know what I'm saying there, but you know what I mean? He helps out a lot, these two right here. This guy, not so much. He's also shorter, but he's further away from the boss, not as close, okay? So he's not as close to the executive here. And this poor chump over here, right? No offense, Pinky. You do great work for me. Thank you. He's short and he's way far away. Poor little guy is working in a cubicle somewhere. Look, if your pinky is a problem for you, guess what? Welcome to the world because that's pinkies. That's the way they are. They're that way on monkeys. They're that way on humans, and they're just kind of weak. And you got to train them into submission. You got to beat them into submission through exercises, right? Thank you for everybody that commented there on the 30. Beautiful, okay? You get what I'm talking about. So yes, your pinky is gonna have issues. It always is. It is for everybody. So just deal with it. Welcome to the club. Now you're part of the party here, okay? We're all in this together. All right, so now, so we're taking the same thing. Oh, I know what I was saying. People ask, they say, okay, what about the different forms? Well, the different forms are the same notes all over the fretboard. I'm not saying don't learn them. Learn them, for sure, learn them. But what I'm saying is get to know one position really, 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 really well first before you move on to the other positions, because all of that information will migrate with you to those other positions. But if you keep jumping around to different places, then you're gonna be like, oh, I don't get it. 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 It's like you haven't spent enough time in that one area to get it, and then you go to another area thinking that that's going to be easier for you. It's not. That's not the way it works. Your hyper focus in one area is going to get you to where you want to get to. Then once you get that, then you bring that information with you, drop it into this next area, and then you're like, oh crap, look at that, I'm doing that there too. Oh wow, I'm doing that here. Eric's right, he's not joking. Okay, this is all over the neck, nice. But if you're like, man, I don't quite get it here, I'm gonna go over here. And you're like, oh God, I don't get it here, I'm gonna go over here. Okay, well, that's like you not getting, I don't know, some subject, like Latin, and you're like, oh, I'm not getting that. I'm going to go try Mandarin. Oh, gosh, I'm not getting that. Oh, I'm going to go try Spanish. Oh, I can't get that either. Well, you got to take time with one particular thing, and you focus and you lean into it, and then all that information will move along with you. Make sense? A lot of people too impatient, and that's because, you know, the society we live in with the devices and everything else. You got to unplug from that stuff and you got to get back to focusing. Those are the people, by the way, who are going to rule the world, are those who can not be ruled by their devices, and ones that can turn them off and go do a particular task with focus and with tenacity. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take this link here, or we're going to take this bit here, and we're going to move it someplace else. So, and while talking about that, you know, we're talking about the same five notes, but we have different positions, right? We said this, different positions. So what with those positions? Why should I do that? Love you, brother. Thank you so much, Denise. So kind. Oh, love you, brother. So sweet. John, thank you, bud. Another kind donation there, and I will answer your question here in just 1 second. Let me finish this thought because I've tried to finish it about 5 times and I keep missing it. So the different positions, look, on the guitar, you can play a high E right here. High E. Oh, see? Does that sound warbly now? It does to me. If it sounds that way to you, let me know. So here's a high E, here's an E, 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 E. So we can play those in different places on the neck, right? So unlike the piano, if you press middle C is middle C. And that's it. So not on the guitar though, it's all over the place. So what that means is we got a bunch of options, right? So I've said it before, if I play this lick, you know, let's see, you know, we could play it at least 3 different places on the neck there. If we did different octaves, then we're playing them in even more places on the neck. So what's cool about the different positions is once you master one position, listen, don't skip that part because that's the most important part. Once you master one position, what I mean by master it, you're never going to fully master it. You're going to feel good about it though. But once you get one area of the neck, then you can start looking at the different positions. But if you do it before then, you're really making things really, 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 really hard for yourself. So if you appreciate that and you really like making things difficult for yourself, then by all means, go and learn all those different forms and try to navigate them and try to improvise in them. Otherwise, do it the way I'm telling you and you will be in a much better place, and then you can pull all of that information to all those other places. Now what's cool about the different forms is that it allows you to play the same thing on different strings, so you can go get different tonalities and what have you, but also sometimes because of the way the guitar is strung or tuned, you will find that a lick will fall under your fingers differently, and so because of that you might favor a lick on one part of the neck as opposed to another part of the neck, and those different forms of the same scale, the same 5, 6 notes, will allow you to play things that you wouldn't be able to in those other positions. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Okay, I guess I'm going to turn this thing off then because I'm hearing some warble, or I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Oh, sucks being a short guy. I barely grabbed that thing. Okay, that should be better now. It's not moving so quick here. Luke Oldenburg is saying, hello, say my name. Say my name, say my name. Luke, I am your father, Luke. Okay. All right, you ready? Here we go. Let's move this bit. Let's do this. You ready? Let's do frets 3 and 5, 3 and 5, 3 and 5, 3, 5, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 on strings 4 and 3. If you're an advanced player, play whatever the heck you want. Play it better than me, okay? If not, phrase along with me, copy what I'm doing, and you're going to get this, okay? Here we go. We're dealing with the same notes. But I want you to see this, I want you to feel this, and I want you to understand, no joke, it's the same notes. Wow, I know a lot more than I thought I did. That's the feeling I want you to get from this, okay? Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Here we go. try something. Hasselfucker. Thank you, Paul. Let's do a double stop right here. So I'm bending, but I'm doing strings 3 and 2. Okay, it's a double stop, and you're doing that with a bar. So like, yeah, I'm wearing shorts. Sue me. Here we go. Bending these two up. If it sounds good, repeat it. What? Yeah, you heard me. There. Oh yeah, Eric, I'm playing now. Yeah. It sounds so good it hurts, Gary said. Yeah. Here's a variation of it. Slide. Acoustics could bend this a little bit. Pull offs. Pull off here. Starting on the pre-bend here. If you can't do the vibrato, you can. You heard me. You go for it. You just go for it. Hasifa. Different things you can do. I haven't forgot about you, John. All right, let's talk about this question from John here real quick. Great lessons, Eric. Can you explain how and why minor pentatonic works over major scales, I think that throws people for a loop. It does, John. And I told this story yesterday, I think yesterday, that I went to John Pell, who's a Nashville mainstay, a Nashville like icon guitar teacher. He's taught Dan Huff and worked with a bunch of amazing players who are famous today. And he's a buddy of mine. Played at my wedding, and used to live across the hall from a girlfriend of mine, so I saw him all the time. And I've taken lessons from him, and he's just a sweet guy. And I played blues for years, but I always played it from it was more rock blues than it was. If you've seen my video on why rock players have a hard time playing major blues, watch that video, because it talks about this whole concept that we're talking about right now. Is that when you're playing minor, you know, something in a minor sound, like it works perfectly. When we're talking about a major chord, as we're playing right now, Irene, thank you for the donation. So kind. When you're playing in a major key, really you should be doing a major scale. We can use a major scale. It won't sound very good. We should use major pentatonic if we're going to do anything. But why does the minor pentatonic work over a major chord? And it's a great question. And here is my best definition of it. It shouldn't, number one, because we got that third, that minor third in there over a major chord. And in the other 999 situations like that, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But with blues, it works, and I believe that's what gives it its sound. Also, most of the time, we're bending that note. You know, as we saw here. It's always like on its way there. It's always on its way to the correct note. So if I just go like this, if I go, that note you're so used to hearing as being bluesy, right? That sound, because technically that's the note that's in the chord. But that even sounds weird, right? It sounds square. Well, there it doesn't sound good, but right? So, but that's the note in the chord. That's the chord. It's a G major chord, G7. G7 has a major third in it. So it should be that. So what I find is it sounds cooler if you throw the minor and the major in there like this. I don't know, it just sounds cooler to me. Or if you do because now you're dealing with the major third and the minor third. Same thing with here. Doesn't sound as cool, but if we bend this note on the way to there, it's almost like the emotion of it creates that sound. In hip hop, right? These guys, they would sing and they would be out of pitch, and because they couldn't sing because they were rappers in hip hop, right? I'm sorry if anybody's offended by that, but that's not what they did. You know what I mean? So it became a sound. And so you'd hear in hip hop, they'd sing flat. It just became a sound. So similarly here, if we're on our way to that third, it sounds good, okay? So bottom line, it's just part of the bluesy sound, but then also we could say that bending from that minor third to the major third redeems it in some ways. Does that make sense? It redeems it in some way. Jim Porter, thank you so much for the kind donation. I missed you earlier. Thank you, bud. So kind. Okie dokie. Here we go. Do you want to mix the major third in there some? You want to try it? Be fun, wouldn't it? Let's do it. Let's go. Let's come back up here. In fact, let's go. Let's do. Let's do that. Let's throw that guy in there. Here we go. Get your guitars ready. Ready to do this? Ready? Ready, ready, ready? Here we go. We're at fret 6 and 8 again. So we're gonna go. So we're going from minor third to major third. Again. We can slide into that last note too, like this. Oh, what? We're using all three of those notes. That's what I did there. Let's do that one again. That one's a little tricky. We're going to keep up with this one a little bit. Here we go. Again. Yeah. I hear ya. That's nice. Yeah. What? Yeah, sure. You can do that. Here we go. Yeah, it's a 65. Here we go. Okay, you getting it? It's all about phrasing. So at the top, I choke the note with my pick. Watch. That's all I'm doing. Just sing it if you can't play it. Because at least that'll let you know what the pitches are doing, okay? Do another. Now we're going to add this note here. We're going to add that note. I love that one. Slide into that guy. Can you see it's all right there, friends? There's our, you know. Sorry, I got a little carried away. Now that's a fun one too. You can bend that one up a whole 1.5 steps, right, to your A sharp. And it just works. That note bends real easily. So we're gonna do that, okay? So we're gonna. Somebody said Tebow, Baton Rouge, Tebow. Thibodeau. My mom has a cat named Tebow. Figured you wanted to know that. So we're gonna add this note, and we're also gonna bend up to there a whole 1.5 steps. Try it with me right now. If you break a string, you break a string. Guess what? You play a guitar. You're a guitar player, right? Grow a set of strings for your guitar. That's what I mean. Grow a set of strings, or go get a set of strings for your guitar. Get a set of strings for your guitar, okay? All right, Dan, here we go. You ready to do this? Shall we? So those are the 2 little tidbits that we're doing here right now, okay? Yeah? Get it? Cool? Yeah? We're going to do this, we're going to do that guy, and then we're also going to... And we're going to do some other bits here, okay? We're just adding some sauce. You like sauce? I like sauce. Let's do this. Here we go. Thank you so much, Dan. Yeah, you're right. Psycho out of Bob, yeah. You can do that. Anytime you do that, it makes you sound like you know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Thank you, Marine Mama 62. Marine Mama 62, thank you so much. That's right, fake it till you make it. That's right, it's true. Let me tell you, this one I like pull-offs. Here you go. Right? Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you. We're always coming back to that. That's our tonic every time, right? I told you, it's just combos of words. Each one of these things is a word. Slide up to it though. Sounds so much better than just playing the notes, you know? Just go for something, Haferbucker. What's up, Al? I told you I'd make it more complicated today. Here we go. Oh, I like that one. We're gonna keep up with that. Here we go. We went to the major third there. It sounds good. Okay. Just try it, just try it, go for it. That one's for Al, who wanted this harder. Secret Poppy. That's right, go cat, go. We're doing whole solos on this. You notice that? Al just broke the E string. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, sure. That's how you do it. Right? Yes, do it on a Les Paul. Do it on anything. Get out a guitar and do it right now. All right. Oh no, thank you for the donation, friend. All right, let's get some questions here, okay? Beautiful. How are you guys feeling? If you get this, if you got this, give me a yeah, or give me a thumbs up, just something to let me know that you guys are getting it. If you're not getting it, give me a no, so I know where you're at. Any specific questions? So somebody said, what are the notes that we're repeating? We're repeating, I mean, everything's different every single time, but really it's all notes out of the B minor blues scale, B minor blues scale. So no one's thinking, I never think, well, is that a G, is that a, what? I don't think that. If you do that, the song's gone already, the note's gone, the beat's gone. So you just gotta play. And this is why we, tell me what the repeating lick is. It's different every time. And I can't, I'm telling you, I'm showing you. You've got to learn to mimic what somebody's saying. I say it all the time. I could tell you about chocolate, or you could eat a piece of chocolate. Find a piece of chocolate and eat it, and then you're gonna be like, I know what you're talking about. I'm with you, Eric. Or actually, third eye, I'm with you, Eric. Otherwise, I could tell you about chocolate for 1,000 years. 1,000 people could tell you about chocolate for 1,000 years. It still wouldn't be like eating the chocolate. So you got to get involved. And the sooner you get involved, the better it's gonna be, okay? Yeah, we don't need no stinking notes. We got phrasing, exactly. You think Hendrix or Stevie Ray Vaughan's thinking about notes. They're not. They're thinking about phrases. They're thinking about, okay, I'm in a particular key, here are the notes. Now, they may think about that, that tonic. That's an important one. But other than that, they're just thinking in phrases. The key of shark, exactly. Bending one string up, I'm ending going under the second and third strings. Is that okay? Denise, it happens to the best of them. It happened to Hendrix, it happened to Jimmy Page, it happened to all of them. I definitely went through my stages of doing that, and you will get good at that. You just have to keep bending, and over time, through focus, you can't just bend and hope that it gets better. You need to focus at, now what's actually happening there? Dissect it a little bit, and then figure out why that is. Now I can tell you that the bottom three strings, bottom in proximity, not in pitch, the bottom three strings get bent up, and the top three strings in proximity, in lowest in pitch, get bent down. So think about the center of the guitar is where you want to bend all notes. You bend them towards the center of the guitar. Okay, this way you're not going off the fretboard. That sounds weird. You don't want to do that. Don't do that. Okay, you want to not do that, please. All right, but you'll get it in time. It really honestly is a matter of practice. When you talk about different forms, are you referring to different pentatonic modes? Willie, no, we're talking about forms. Modes are something different. Modes are Greek modes, which are different forms of the major scale, but even that in and of itself doesn't denote a mode. We'd have to really go down the rabbit hole for that, Will. I think you're in UGS, so I have a whole section on modes. Check that out, because it's good to know. You know, when we're talking about forms, the form of a particular something you're doing could be any mode. It would just depend on the math that's happening in the background. It would depend on what key you're in and that sort of thing. So for instance, if I'm playing G major and I'm playing A Dorian over the top of it, it's the same thing as G major. Or if I play B Phrygian over the top of it, then it's literally the same, it's the same notes. So we're not really playing in a different mode, we're just playing a different form. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, when we're talking about the different pentatonic forms, we're just talking about different forms, meaning they fall on different places of the neck. That's all. Don't get confused about it. It's the same 5 notes, same 6 notes or whatever, okay? Where do you find the corresponding forms on the neck? Well, I cover them. I cover them inside of the Unstoppable Guitar System, inside of UGS Pro. I talk to them in there. Talk to you about them in there. I've got PDFs and all that stuff for you. Al Aldison, listening to Tom Bukovac, great studio musician, said he doesn't know anything about modes. Yes, my wife used to date Tom Bukovac. So I don't know Tom well, but I know he's a fantastic player. And of course, an insane studio musician. He said he doesn't know anything about modes. I believe him. Look, there's not a need to know much about modes. I had a conversation with, I had a few conversations yesterday. One with Gretchen Menn, who, if you guys don't know, is an amazing guitar player. And then also, but specifically, I was talking with Robert Baker, who's another amazing guitar player who we just did an interview with yesterday. And I was asking him about that because I can hear some jazz influences in his playing. And I asked him about that, and he says, "No, man, I don't think about modes or anything. Basically, I'm just like, I kind of like that chord has that special note in it, and I can do this little thing." And so he thinks like that. And most guitar players think like that too. There's no need in muddying the waters and making things hard. Okay, doesn't make it sound better if it's hard. Try not to get in that habit. Don't be a masochist. And take it from a masochist, someone who used to think that if it's hard, it means that it's going to be, there's something good in there for you. It's not always like that. Oftentimes in life, you know, working out, meditating, but those things don't have to be hard either. They can be a lot of fun. I love working out. I love meditating. Cold showers can feel real nice. I've gotten to a place where they feel great. So sometimes life is like that, but it's not always like that. So yes, did I know anything about the modes? There may not, you know, for the most part, there's not a need for it, especially in country music. Alan, thank you for the donation. Emil, thank you so much for the donation. So kind. Wim Hof, indeed. Indeed. What a amazing dude, Wim Hof, right? Woo, check him out. Okay, Willie, no jazz. I'm reading a book on theory, and it's talking about the 5 pentatonic modes. That's funny that they call them modes, because that'd be the first time I've ever heard that. Really, we're talking about the same 5 notes. They're just played in different places on the neck. Look, check this out, Willie. If I play this, right, I say it all the time, right here's A. Right? That sounds like one of those sped up guitars. The vibratos always sounds like that. Phil, thanks for the donation. Steven, thank you for the donation. Beautiful. I'm going to answer that question in just one second. So don't get confused, Willie. It's the same notes. They're just appearing on different places on the neck. How about that? That's your answer. Don't think about it any more than that. Anything more than that, you're adding to the narrative. That's all it is. Same 5 notes, different places on the neck. That's it. Steven, thank you. Don't forget a thumbs up homage to our liege and ultra cool instructor. Thanks for helping us all become better players during this pandemic shut in. God bless all, and love to Eric. Thank you so much, Steven. Super kind, buddy. Really kind. Okay, we'll get back to it in just a minute. What else? What else? Talk to me. How can I help you here? Yes, me and Robert will jam together. I want to jam with him. He's such a great player, so tasty. Love that guy, and he's got such a sweet spirit too, man. I just feel like my job and the people I hang out with, everybody is sweet. There are really no tools in the whole bunch. At least the people I hang out with. Maybe I don't call the tools. I just go seek out the ones that are really sweet, and there's so many of them. So kind. Everybody's growing. Everybody knows that they can get better. No one thinks they've arrived, which is true. So yeah. Is it okay to play major pentatonic over minor progressions as well? Bobby, no. At least I have not found it to work. It just doesn't work. It just sounds weird, you know, but for whatever reason it does. It works as I described with the minor pentatonic over the major. It just does. But you can't play major pentatonic over all this stuff that we're doing too. You want to do some of that? I think we should. Let's do that. There's not as many choices in my opinion, but yeah. Okay. I'm new to playing single notes. Any guidance on right hand, street bright gear? It's all about practice. Everybody starts around step 0, which everybody should. They start at the beginning. And this is known, scientifically speaking, as the suck stage. This is what we know as the suck stage. And when you're at this stage, they call it the suck stage because when you're in this stage, you suck, and no matter how much thinking you do, you will remain in Suckville, in this area of suckage. You will remain there until you practice, and then suck turns into less sucky, and then it goes into, hey, that's not so sucky anymore, and then it turns into, hey, that's all right, and then it turns into, well, that's better than all right. And then it turns into, hey, wait a minute, I think I got something. And then it turns into, hey, I definitely have something. And then it's like, hey, hold the door. I'm Stevie Ray Vaughan, or whoever you are. You're your own person, okay? But everybody starts off in Suckville. And the only remedy to it is practice. There is no other solution other than practice. Dear God, if I found a way that I could create a product for you that you didn't have to practice, I would do it. Okay, it's like, but there's not, and I'm telling you the truth here. It's all about practice. So, new to playing single notes. Any guidance on right hand? It's just practice. But street bright. I'm pretty sure you're in UGS standard because we've talked before. I know you've donated, super kind, the whole 9 yards. But that's where I would start. Is just start in UGS standard, friends. If you are not in there, then you're like the 1% in here who have not been in there. You need to. It's link 3 below, gives you access to the top 30 lessons that I teach all my students. Massively will help you to understand. Get out of Suckville. No one wants to be there. It's a lame town. But we all have to start there, right? We got to start at the beginning. We're babies. Suckville as well, right there. And then we grow up and we start eating regular food and everything else, going to the potty and playing guitar and doing stuff like that. But we have to always start at 0. We always start at 0. That's okay. That's where everybody starts, okay? Let's not insult the other billions and billions of people that were born before us that had to start there too. We should have to start there too. Okay, same thing. But I get you, Street Bright. You're looking for, you know, what's the key? I'm telling you, the answers are in the free program that I'm giving you, and then after that, it's literally is just practicing that stuff. Okay. Okay. Great. Nice. All right. Here we go. Let's do. You want to do some major blues? We said we would do that, right? So let's do this. Let's work with the BB box a little bit. The BB box is this. It looks like this, but in fact, it's up a whole step from that. I think they call this the Albert King box, actually, which I love it. They should call it the Sage box, because I freaking love it. Stick me in that box, I'll stay in that box. I'm fine with that. I'm good. I'll break out. We'll go to some other places, but I love that box. That's my comfort zone. I love it. But it's good to break out of your comfort zone if you want to grow. If you're perfectly content with mediocrity and staying where you're at, then no judgment, no judgment. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Here we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take what we did there. We're going to move it up a whole step, but the notes aren't going to be the same. Okay? Now, watch this. That's our home bass. That's still our home bass, but since we've moved up, now it's under our first finger. Make sense? Now, so let me get familiar with this again. I don't use it very often. I've heard Stevie Ray Vaughan do this one where he goes, which let's examine that. So what he's doing here is he's playing the 2 of the scale, major. Remember that little row that I showed you? I call it, I forgot what I called that, but magic row or something like that. But basically, if this is your 1, here's your 2, can be played in major blues, right? Because that's it. That's that note right there. There it is, all day long. So there's the 2, right? Here's the minor 3, which is used in blues. Here's the major 3, which is used in blues. Here's the 4, which is used in blues. Here's the flat 5, which is used in blues. Here's the 5 that's used in blues. So all these notes. What? Yeah, all those notes can be used in blues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have the flat 7. Sorry, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8 notes. What? That's even more than the diatonic scale. We could use that. We could use all that if we were mixing major and minor blues, if we were using major and minor blues, I should say. Okay? That's 8 notes. That's pretty cool, right? All right, so I don't have a ton to show you in major blues. I wish I was more versed in it, but honestly, I'm not. I came to that game late. So we're not going to have a ton of licks here for you. Sorry. I should work on it more, and then I could get some more to you. But here we go. Let's do a little bit here, okay? Get your guitar ready. You ready to do this? Ready, ready, ready. Jared's the mayor of Suckville. Nice. All right, but guess what? You only have to be in Suckville for just a little while. Okay, again, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mix some minor blues in there too. Okay, so should I? Is that gonna confuse you guys? Here's the deal. Let me tell you this. We got 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 9, 10, 10, 8, 10, 8, 9. Now if I want to make it minor, then I'm going to play this pinky, and so this is going to be an 11 and a 10 instead of, it's just a half step up. So I might do that some, okay? But I can feel it. I feel like I may lose you a little bit, but let's try it, okay? Here we go. Let's try this. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. I'm just barely bending that, okay? It's kind of cool because we're bending into the minor third. And then let's throw the 2 in there. So we'll bend this and we'll go. Well, that's not giving you enough time. Let's try this again. We'll come back to it. Ah, Corey's here. What's up, Corey? So we're just bending from the 2 to the minor 3. Now, if we wanted to, we could. Here's our. Now we're just talking minor blues, right? See, now that has that kind of up sound because it's major. That sounds happy. Instead of this sound, right? It's not terribly sad, but it's definitely minor. So here I'm just going, I'm a half step up. Let's try this again. And if we want that major sound, we move these 2 notes down a half step. Also nice and major sounding. So pinky here. Okay, now that I find that position for the major blues is just really easy to get to, and I don't know, for whatever reason for me, I find that I can kind of spice things up a little bit. And what I do is when I'm playing is I will go, okay, I'm in this mode, and automatically, and Corey will say the same thing, which by the way, stick around in another 20 minutes. We're all going to head over to Corey's channel. Corey is a badass player, especially blues, but I mean, he can play it all, and an amazing instructor. You do not want to miss his stuff, okay? And in fact, it's a perfect to go from here to go to Corey to what he's doing there. You're gonna be right in line, okay? So check him out after this. But Corey will probably say the same thing. When you go to different positions on the neck, what happens for me is I go all these like cliches or tricks or I know cliche is kind of not a word that people resonate with, but the truth be told, a cliche is something that it can be fine. It can be if you use it the right way. But what I find is when I go to a particular position, there's certain things that come out. Like you know, if I'm down in this position, I definitely can play some, you know, double stops and stuff, some Chuck Berry type stuff, you know, that sort of thing. When I'm in this position, when I'm in that position, I'm doing some major blues. I also know that this fun little, I know that that guy is in there too. What is that? That is my flat 5. And then I can throw a major note in there, right? Instead of, here's how it would be major, here's how it would be minor. So if I went, or if I went, right? So all of that is right in there. And the thing about it is it's so nuancy. There's so, yes, you can play, you know, this note, this note, this note, this note, this note, this note, and this note, right? So not the 11th fret, but you can go, you can play all, not the 11th, sorry, 3 to 10 in blues. In this case here, in G blues, because that's the major 2, the minor 3, the major 3, the 4, the flat 5, and the 5, and those are all permissible notes within blues. But where they're played makes all the difference in the world. So we're not gonna do this sound. That's just gonna sound chromatic. That doesn't sound like much. But if we did something like, we did, well, now I've just played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notes, right? The diatonic scale has 7 notes. So pretty cool that we could use all of those. So that's 7 or 8 different notes right there. But where you use them is a whole nother bag. That's why we have to learn to phrase. If you are like, well, here are the notes, go for it. You're like, what the heck? That's like handing a dictionary to a child and saying, dude, you got all the words. There's no reason that you should not be you shouldn't be writing a book. It's like, what? No, a book requires chapters, requires paragraphs, requires sentences, requires phrases, requires words, and then, hell, if the kid can't spell, he's got to learn the letters before he can learn to play the words. So we've got the notes, we've got the letters, if you will. Now we need to assemble words. And we can almost think about the notes as words. Let's do that. Let's think about them as words. So now we need to create phrases. And the best way to do this, and I think Corey would probably agree, is to just do very, very, very simple phrases at first. If you're trying to go out of the gate playing Stevie Ray Vaughan, I mean, you can get there that way, but you better have that tenacity that you're not going to quit, because if you're starting off with that and you're trying to figure it out, it's going to be very hard for you. You got to start with baby steps, okay? Make sense? All right, let's get to some questions. What brand of guitar? This is a Fender. This is a 65. I was lucky enough to acquire this a few years back from George Gruen at Gruen Guitars. I've always wanted a mid 60s Strat. I wanted a 64 or before, and I told my guitar tech Greg Ellis I want a 64 or before, because that's like the blues special, right? That's what all the blues guys like. And we found this one, 65, looked exactly like I wanted, played exactly like I wanted, sounded exactly how I wanted it to sound, but it was a 65. And I said, dude, that's when CBS bought Fender, and the guitar aficionados will say, well, Fender kind of started mucking with things and started putting cheaper parts in, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this, even though it is by name a 65, many of the parts, or all of the parts, are pre-CBS, so meaning it's still a 64 technically, or at least it's the reasons why we would get a 64 and not a 65. Does that make sense? Even the old mint pick guard, this pick guard on eBay costs about $2,500 for this old cruddy, I say cruddy jokingly, this old pink or mint, I should say, pick guard. How cool is that? Wendell, thank you so much. Thanks again for the last 45. Has it been 45 days? Dear Lord, right? We'll have to catch Friday on YouTube replay again. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Wendell. And we will keep doing this. I was just talking with Mike. We're going to work out a plan because we're going to get back in the studio on Monday. And I think I'm pretty darn sure that we're going to have Ford Thurston on. Woo! Ford Thurston is a badass player. You got to watch this guy. That boy can shred. So hopefully this Tuesday we're going to have him on the show, but we may end up continuing to go live as folks are getting back to work. But if the numbers are up and people are here, then we're going to keep doing it, okay? Because I want to be here for you guys. Okay, questions. Questions before we move on. Let's keep going. Continue, please. All right, Frank, give me a thumbs up or give me a yes if you want to continue soloing. If not, give me a no if you want questions answered. I think I know the answer. Yes, more 30 days. I mean, yes, so like yes as in do you want to continue soloing type of thing, okay? Yes, yes, yes. I knew that was the answer. Okay, so let's do this. Let me show you another one of my favorite positions of in guitar, that is, we got this one. And we have this one. Now, the reason I'm just sticking to the top 3 strings there is that's what most guitar players do, because we want to, the rhythm guitars are down here, And we want to stay out of their way. Okay, Michael, thank you for the donation, buddy. So kind. Lower register, we want to stay out of their way. That's why we typically play on the top 3 strings or so. Also, that's where all the juice is. That's where you can bend those notes, etc., etc. So we got that form 1, if you will. Form 2. Right? We said there's so much good stuff in there, and then we went to this section 3, if you will, what some refer to as the BB box, but you can because BB threw in the major 6 and the major 2, but he also threw in some minor stuff in there too. So right there's the major, minor. That would be very Jimmy Page-ish, And then, right, that's more BB King-ish, right? Now, we could use the cage system for this, or you could use any means of finding this scale, but I just think about G. Well, G's right there, right? And if I wanted to play this form, like in the video that I have that's play one scale, play them all, it's basically showing you how that one scale would transfer up the neck in all the different places. And if you just know that one scale, you literally can find it all over the fretboard. And then times the 12 keys, I mean, you just when you play a one scale, you move it up the fretboard, right? You don't have to play a different form. You're playing the same form every single time. So literally, one form. Now, if you can move it around the fretboard, well, you can move it around the fretboard for 12 different keys. This is what I'm saying. If you think like this way, then you don't have to have that silly old guitar grimoire with the dust on it that you're never going to use anyhow, okay? Because it's in here. It's not on the paper. Hold on, guys. G sharp? G sharp? Okay, hold on. I gotta get my grimoire out. You're not gonna do that. Nobody's doing that, okay? So you don't do that. So, but G, if we know where the G is, there's the G. Okay, well we know that's a G. We know this is a G, and so if I have my scale, I can play the same scale there. Here's a G. Here's a G. What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's that easy. So now we got this little area. Now, again, we're gonna shoot for some higher strings here. So I like this. So here we got 10, 12, 11, 13. 10, 12, 11, 13. Make sense? So. That's all we're doing, except here, that's a G. All right, how do we know that? Because this is an E, F, F sharp, G. Cool. Or this is an A flat, G. However you want to think about it, and the form is the same. Fingering might be slightly different, but it's actually the same finger as this lower one. But we're also going to add this. Cool. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Ready, ready, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're starting it off simple. I like this one now. Now, remember how I said that somebody just said, where are we going after this? We're going to drop a link to Corey's video, okay? Frank, stick around. We're going to drop Corey's link here in just a minute. I want you to go see Corey when we're done here. Guy is a beast. Watch him. You're going to learn stuff. School time. School day. School's in, all right? This lick right here, this, right, we did this. This one can be a little bit difficult if you're not using the right fingering, because here I'm using my pinky to pull off and then my third finger to land, which normally we would use the same finger, right? But now you're doing a bar thing and it's kind of awkward. But if you took that same lick and moved it up here, now you got 13, 11, 12. See, so just that simple. So somebody said, well, what about the different forms? This is what I mean. Same notes, but if you want to use that like that and that feels awkward to you, well, now come up here. Now it won't feel awkward. So that is what the different forms are really useful for, is because now you can play the same notes. Look, you're going to play the same notes. It's pentatonic or the blues scale. You're going to play the same notes, but now you have different options all over the neck. Cool? Yeah? Right? You get it? Yeah? Okay, cool. So we're going to do that. Ready? Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Dwight, appreciate it, buddy. Here we go. I'm betting those last, or second to last two notes, right? We'll do that one again. Right? Yes, thank you, Dwight. Double stops, right? Here we go. Playing 2 and 3 at the same time. Changing it on you a little bit. That's all right, but anything you do in this is going to work. Make sense? We're going to know it one more minute, and then we're going to head over to chorus. Last one. Friends, you rule. Are you getting this? Give me a thumbs up on the way out and a yes, a hell yes, or a yes. If you haven't already, like this video, please, friends. Share it out to the interwebs with the kids. Subscribe. Notification bell, all that good stuff. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the beautiful donations, the kind donations today. You guys are helping keep the lights on. We're going to make it through this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do. Blessings, blessings for all you do. Good vibes, all the rest. I love doing this with you guys, so thank you. Beautiful questions today, friends. Let's go over to, there's Corey's link right now. Let's head on over there. Guy is absolutely amazing. You're going to love him. If you haven't watched Corey before, you need to. He's really remarkable player, remarkable teacher. When I grow up, I want to play like him. So let's go check him out. All right, I'm heading over there right now. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Last day tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll see you then. Bye.